Heavy hitter. What's up, heavy hitters? Hey, it's your boy Josh Johnson, Steve Loper, fresh out of North Kakalaki. Say what up, Steve.
Hey, what's up, you guys? Hope everybody's doing well today.
Say, tonight we're going to discuss what's trending on Twitter. That is hashtag things I learned the hard way, also National Barbecue Day, and action versus intent. Say Lope Dog, Streamin' Steve, whatever I'm calling you these days, Loper Khan. Hey, that was a good little mix-up between Clay Shannon and Shannon Ridges today and Gary V on Twitter. That was fun.
Oh,
Would you agree?
yeah. It was good because
Um,
we both had some knowledge on it. We were able to chatter back and forth.
It was good stuff. Say,
Yeah.
I would love to talk more with you, BS a little bit about how dance was tonight, but we got to get into this, man. Let's go. Let's roll.
That sounds good. Bro.
So, hashtag things I learned the hard way. What would you say that's trending on Twitter? What does Lope Dog have to say about that?
So we put these topics together about 3 minutes before each and every podcast that we do. So we come to you guys with a sort of a blank slate, no time to prepare, and we just sort of come at you with what sort of is off the cuff, off the top of our head. And things I learned the hard way. Listen to your parents or your dad in particular when he says, "Boy, if you just listen to me one of these days, you're going to wish you listened to your daddy." You know, if I was your age again, I would study harder. I'd work harder. I'd this, I'd that. And you're going to wish you listened to me. And sure enough, I played baseball in high school. I was a, standout baseball player for my town and stuff like that. And had potential to go off to, some bigger schools and do some big stuff in baseball. And he was always there, watching my practices, supportive, but me being the high school kid with the attitude a little bit off, who really cares,
For sure.
I always heard him say you're going to wish you listened to me. And now I find myself telling my kids that same exact thing. And I find myself in a situation at 40 years old where I was like, damn, I wish I would have listened to my dad. Their dads aren't always wrong. They're always trying to give you advice. They're always trying to push you forward. But that's something I learned the hard way, man. I didn't listen to him. I didn't try as hard. I didn't hustle as hard. I didn't practice enough. I could have done better. I could have went to a bigger school to play baseball. I could have played all 4 years in college, I'm sure. But just didn't listen to him, man. It's one of those things that I learned the hard way. How am I going to change that and sort of present it to my kid in a different way? Or am I going to approach my kid differently whenever I'm trying to sort of teach him to listen to me now and not wish you did in the future? I'm still figuring that stuff out, but
I got you, dude. It's funny you say that because I took my youngest son to the park last night, and when I was carrying him all the way to the park so he could go down the slide, there were 3 dads there who were coaching softball to probably girls that were second, third grade. And dude, I'm not going to pretend that I know what it's like to be a girls softball coach or to be a coach at all, but I just felt like they could have went about it a different way. I don't feel like they were quite connecting with the kids on the level that they needed to be. And, it made me think back to all my old coaches. It just seemed so like, in your face, down your throat, dictatorship. And I know there's got to be some level of like authority, but I don't know, dude. I'm not trying to make excuses, but I just think like, sometimes us dads can be a little hard-headed, but you got to connect, man. Like everyone, I love John C. Maxwell. He has a book called Everyone Communicates, Few Connect. And you got to talk to people the way that they communicate and connect with them. Sorry,
yeah.
that was kind of I was trying to stay on track, and I think I already rambled, dude. Sorry.
Oh, no. It's the truth. Is like, that's more of a, like my dad giving me that advice as a kid. It was more like he was communicating his thoughts to me.
He was yelling at
you. Yeah, he wasn't really. Well, he wasn't yelling, and he wasn't a yeller. He wasn't like get that stance right, get that swing right. Keep your shoulders in, or you need to be opening up your hips, or whatever. Whatever the if we were working on swings that day, like he wasn't that parent. He was just sort of he just wanted me to go out there and just have that drive, like that Peyton Manning kind of drive or that Michael Jordan where they go out there on their own. Like Michael Jordan, I don't even know if his parents really pushed him to play, but he was in the basketball court every morning, shooting, 1,000 free throws. He just had that. And I could have went out there and took as much BP as I wanted to. And I didn't. I could have. I had all the time in the world, didn't have to have a job. I played all these sports. I could have just stayed after practice for 30 extra minutes, an hour after practice, taking ground balls. And that would have been all that's all he was talking about, was just that extra effort, do more, and you're not going to regret it. And, I just didn't listen to him.
I got you.
Anything, what about you, man? What's the lesson you learned the hard way?
That's good stuff. I would say lesson I learned the hard way. I was thinking about it. I remember the first time that I went into business for myself as an insurance agent. And I guess one of the things that I learned the hard way is not keeping track of my expenses and spending way too much money. I remember one month I spent about $1,000 on internet leads, and wasn't getting the return either. But I guess that's what I would say to all you, new business owners, aspiring business owners, or just think that it would be cool to be an entrepreneur, is you really got to, keep a tight lip on that. And maybe you guys do, and I just did a shitty job of it. But you got to keep an eye on that. And one of the things I learned later was just like really to focus on leading with revenue, right? So, a lot of people will say that it takes, to make money, you got to spend money to make money, but you got to have some money coming in first before you spend any dollars.
Yeah, unless you're bankrolled for it, I guess, right?
Right.
Yeah, that leads me to another. It's a money situation about learning the hard way. I invested in some properties back in the day, and
I didn't know this about you.
Yeah. Me and a buddy of mine from high school went into not business together. We both invested in building a house in Costa Rica. So he got his money together. I got my money together. We sent it down to our buddy in Costa Rica. And from the ground up, he bought a farm and he built a couple houses, and he had sold a couple houses, and everything was great. So we sent down our money to invest in the next house that he built, and he built the house and he sold the house, and he said, "Hey man, here's your profit." It was easy. It took 4 months or something like that, made a ton of money and was loving life. I was the man. All right. Well, hey man,
right now.
Do you want me to go ahead and send you everything back, or you just want your profits and want to roll in your investment again? Oh, I'll roll in my investment again. Well, 2008 happened. The stock market crashes and nobody's buying vacation homes at the time. So this goes on. This house doesn't sell for years and years and years. And there was nothing I could do about it. If it was a house we were building in North Carolina, in my own backyard, or even Virginia or South Carolina, I can go and I can put my boots on the ground. I can come up with a plan to get the house sold and step in it myself. It was not in my backyard. It's in another country, and I'm putting my trust in somebody else. No more. If I invest in property, it's going to be in my backyard, so I can go there and I can put my hands on it. And it took probably like 6 years to get my investment back. And it was a stressful 6 years. So
I bet.
Learn the hard way there. Don't send your money away. Keep your eye on your money, don't just send it and put trust in somebody else. Have a hand in whatever it is you do. If you flip a house, be at that house. Have it close by so you can travel to it. Don't have it 6 states away and your buddy's doing it for you. No telling what your buddy's doing, man. He might not work as hard as you.
Right.
So
that's crazy, dude. I didn't know that.
Yeah. It was a fun period at first, and then it turned into just like stress, man. A friend of mine that I invested with, it was kind of his buddy in Costa Rica. So me and him he got kind of tired of me over the course of 6 years. Every time I talked to him, when we getting our money back in Costa Rica? When we getting our money back in Costa Rica? Like, when are we getting that's what it turned into. So mixing business and friends.
Yeah.
I'm still for it because I like it and I want to prosper together with my buddies, my pals, and stuff like that. But I see how I can drive a nail between a relationship like that.
Yeah.
So
Don't you think people take that the wrong way though too, in terms of like people are like, oh, don't do business with friends, don't do business with friends. Like that's one thing, but being an entrepreneur in the path that I've taken, I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I've had many people when I was an insurance agent or real estate agent, I couldn't earn their business or I wasn't good enough for their business because like we were, friends or family or whatever, and they're like, oh, we don't mix friends and business or family. But it's like, I respect that. But at the same time, like, dude, if you don't think that I'm going to like come at someone's freaking jugular for like friends or family, like you're crazy. And you're also crazy if you're going to like your friends or family, you're going to list your house with another agent. Like I'm going to bring a buyer and we're going to go real hard, dude. I'm going to give you a low ball offer and you're going to pay fucking closing costs. That's just I'm sorry, dog. That's just the competitive nature of me. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But I think that comes down to what we're going to talk about tonight is action versus intent. Might be a good segue. Is that I really focus on integrity, and you know what? I can't say that. I would love to say that I'm 100% like operate with integrity, but I'm like anybody else. I probably lie to myself every day. I say, you know what? I'm going to do better of watching what I eat, or I'm going to go to the gym, or, all this, that, and the other bullshit.
Yeah. That's a perfect segue into that action versus intent.
Yes.
I'm gonna start watching what I eat, or I'm gonna start going to the gym. You intend to go to the gym that day, but unless you take action on it, that intent that you have is absolute crap.
Right.
It's absolutely worthless. You can intend to do anything in the world. If you do not have action associated with it, then it is garbage. It's meaningless.
Right. And I'm guilty of it too, man. But so many people want to read about doing push-ups, but you got to do the push-ups, right?
Yeah. It's you got plans to build a house. I mean, like say, okay, I'm going to build my dream house, right? So you start taking some action and you get plans. Okay. You lay these plans down. Now you got sort of schematics of your property or whatever it is. That's still really only intent because you have a plan, but you still haven't actually put it into action yet. That's whenever you start hiring the crew and you start laying the groundwork, and now you've got some action rolling in. You can actually see things that are actually happening. It's all about taking action, man. Taking action. And that's it. We had intent to start a podcast. We talked about it. We've known each other now since only January.
Right.
But as soon as we started communicating, I think I threw out podcast and you said, yeah, we should. And then it was another month. Yeah. Podcast. Yeah, we should. And, we had some intent there, but then I don't even know what happened, to be honest with you. I don't even know how the conversation went down whenever we actually took action and just actually did it.
I don't either, dude. That's a good little, I don't either. I wish I knew. I wish we would have vlogged that day. I don't know what it was that lit a fire under our ass.
Well, I think that's actually our episode 1 that we don't have published on iTunes or anything like that. So
that's like in the archives of like Prince's vault.
Yeah. And we start off with episode number 3. So maybe when we get to episode 100, we'll release the first 2 episodes or something like that.
Well, you know what I think it was actually, and I think people can probably relate to this, is we were like, yes, we're going to do this podcast, and we did it on YouTube, but we didn't know how to get it from YouTube to an MP3, or maybe you did, but from there you didn't know how to take it over to Audacity or whatever. And I feel like there's so many times in life that, you don't know how, or you don't know what, or you don't know who, or you don't know the right things to say. You don't make the sales call. Dude, you just got to do.
Yeah. That's how this is all built. It was, I thought about opening a bottle shop a while back, and I was talking to my folks or not my parents. I was talking to my friends and getting their 2 cents on location. And, I'd call about a building and ask them about price for square footage. And I was building up the intent to do something, but it was kind of like, I was getting the ball rolling, but then I came into so many roadblocks, and those roadblocks just turned into excuses for me. And the excuses won. I was just like, oh, it was a lot, and I didn't have any background and I didn't have any close friends or family to sort of be a mentor and guide me. But that's something where you have to say, screw it. You got to depend on yourself. You just got to take the action to go out there and freaking learn it. And the first episode, the second episode we got it on YouTube. We learned how to use Google Hangouts or YouTube Live to get it recorded. But then there was something else missing and I didn't know what it was, but I took the action to go in there and watch YouTube videos and figure out what the heck Audacity was and figure out how to make an intro and figure out like those first 30 seconds of the podcast that we do now. We mention sort of the first three things or the three things that we're going to talk about. And we hope that captures the listener's attention. Like maybe they're interested in one of the three topics we're going to talk about tonight. And those first 30 seconds can capture them. That's taking action, just the time spent to learn it. That's action,
right.
Even that's us like building a house is like the knowledge we're getting from learning how to do it. That's the same as building the house, kind of
building it from the ground up, dude. Well, and I think like whether you want to admit it or not you, but I mean, a person, if someone wants to have the humility enough, I think so many times in life, we're always looking for someone's approval, right? So you talk about this action versus intent, like we're taking action doing this podcast. But it's a hard pill to swallow if you get 100 episodes in and you only have 100 listens, right? But I guess the thing about it is I'm having a good time, dude. Mm-hmm. And regardless, I met you in January. I want to stay in touch with you. We would talk anyway. So why the hell not do a podcast and see where it goes? Like, there's still a lot of things that need to happen. Like your wife said, I love that text message today. Man, she was just like, thought she was going to come through the phone at me, big dog.
Dude, she wants, she loves the Bobby Bones Show, and she wants, there's a co-host on there named Radio Amy, and she wants her job. And I was doing something earlier, and I was thinking about saying, babe, if you get on the podcast with us, you can almost have like that Radio Amy job. Like, I got my laptop, we can plug you in a mic, and now you're there. You can say whatever the hell you want, interject whenever you want. It's kind of like the Bobby Bones Show because we do whatever the hell we want. That's what they do on their show. Like
we do, and we don't have to worry about the FCC. I mean, like Eminem says, like the FCC won't let me be, so let me be me on MTV or want to see me, whatever.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. You might have to clip that later, dude.
We might.
I'm still looking forward to going like toe to toe with your boy that you just dropped tons of bits all over, dude. But dude, forget about. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, reel it back in, Josh.
But I do want to say, forget about Amy. What about Podcast Artie? That's where it's at, dude.
Podcast Artie. What the hell does that even mean?
Isn't that your wife's name, Artie?
Kirti.
Kirti,
Kirti.
Damn it! This podcast sucks.
Artie doesn't even look at this. We're on our way to 1 million subscribers,
and I just messed it.
It doesn't know my wife's name. He's hired her to be a co-host and can't even pronounce her name. Doesn't even know her fucking name. Not even close to knowing her name.
I think I was trying to do indie in like Cardi B. Cardi B's on my mind, dude.
A son, Ari. I got a son named Ari, and I got a daughter named Indy, and I got another one, Lily.
What are my kids' names?
I have no idea. Hunter?
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Anyways, National Barbecue.
Is Hunter one of them?
No, it's not Hunter.
What is it?
Dude, no. National Barbecue Day.
You're keeping those down. All right. National Barbecue Day. This is a day that's close to my heart. All right. Living in North Carolina, man, we have tomato-based versus vinegar-based. And it is a battle. It is a battle.
I don't even know what that means, dude. Tomato-based barbecue sauce?
Yeah, tomato-based barbecue sauce, like, any like Stubbs barbecue, that you put on your barbecue sauce, that's tomato-based. That's that creamy, sort of ketchup-y consistency barbecue sauce.
Okay.
That's barbecue sauce on the western side of the state. And then the eastern side of the state, it's vinegar-based barbecue sauce. So it's like It's like apple cider vinegar with a bunch of spices in it mixed up, and you douse it all over your barbecue. And I had put in the title of this or in the description of this, barbecue is not a verb. So don't think that today is National Barbecue Day, like you're going to go out in your backyard and you're going to flip burgers.
That's what I did today. Not
No.
burgers, but I sent you the picture.
Yes, but
And
that
but then I caught myself. I was like, wait, this isn't barbecuing.
no,
This is grilling.
that's grilling, and barbecuing is not even technically that doesn't even exist. It's barbecue is
The thing.
cooked pig. That's what it is. It is smoked pig. It's either whole hog, it's chopped barbecue. Barbecue is actual whole pig. That is what barbecue is. It's not the action of going out there and flipping your burgers or grilling a steak. That you don't call that barbecuing. So if anybody out there today celebrated National Barbecue Day with some hot dogs and hamburgers or a steak on the grill, good effort. Your intent was there, but you failed. You did.
Well, they took action.
They took action, but they did not celebrate National Barbecue Day correctly, in my opinion. I've learned that. You can, after you say anything, if you say, in my opinion, nobody can argue with you.
Oh, you're right.
It's up for debate.
And I'll be the first to admit, I'll take the blame, I'll take the fault. I thought I was celebrating National Barbecue Day. I did catch myself 5 minutes in after I sent that picture, and I was like, wait, I just sent a picture of brats, hot dogs, asparagus wrapped in bacon. Oh, were those tasty, though, from Von Hansen's. Shout out Von Hansen's. That's the last shout out you'll get unless he sponsored the show. $5 will do. And pork chop. But I was like, I just sent this to a guy in North Carolina who's going to be like, dude, you don't know shit about barbecue, and that's not barbecue. Clip that.
You had texted me a couple of paragraphs about some stuff, and I was like, I'm just gonna have to talk to him about this later because you just got on there. You went on a little text rant, and I was like, oh, this is overwhelming, and that's why I ignored your text earlier. I couldn't even really piece it all together. It was like talking about going to New York City. Then it was pictures of barbecue, and I'm like, what is this guy's he's flipping out.
This guy's all over the place. Maybe we could.
Barbecue Day too is Brothers by Barbecue, close to the heart. We've been me and my buddy Brian from the magazine. We have been for the past, it's probably coming up on a year now. We're sort of off and on because we kind of get in trouble, doing it with our current job. So we try to squeeze it in here and there. But what we were doing is we were going from barbecue joint to barbecue joint all across North Carolina, and not really judging the barbecue, but just in North Carolina, barbecue is just an essential part of being in North Carolina. And it is celebrated. It's on the cover of magazines. It's just a huge topic. If you ever want to start a conversation with somebody from North Carolina, just, ask them about barbecue. And it is a surefire way to get a conversation going. But we were celebrating not the history, but just the people at the barbecue joint. The cook, the chef at the barbecue joint, the people that work there, how long had it been there? Let's go back and take a look at your smoking pit. How many pigs are you cooking today? Where are you getting your pigs from? Are they locally sourced? Talking that stuff, but never would we, take a bite of a barbecue sandwich and spit it out. We weren't really doing that, but
did you wanted to a few times, all right?
Yeah, probably. But that's not what it was about, man. It was the effort the guy was putting in, the passion he had for it or she had for it, whoever was cooking, and running the business. But every single joint that you went to was loved by the community. Like every single barbecue joint in North Carolina has a following. And some of them have them really big and are nationally known, but some of them are just known in that one little small town of Waynesville or something like that,
Yeah.
But celebrating barbecue next year. Buy you a Boston butt, put it in a crock pot for 8 hours with a bottle of Scott's barbecue sauce that you can order online. And you'll at least be able to say you celebrated National Barbecue Day properly.
Dang, dude. What did you say? A Boston what?
A Boston butt.
A Boston butt?
I can run it through. Well, let's run it through right quick. All right. Turn your crock pot on low at about 9:30 in the morning, where we got 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, 1:30, 2:30, 3:30. So maybe about 11:30, you take your Boston butt and you throw it in your crock pot, and you get vinegar, apple cider vinegar, pour out about half of it, fill it up with red pepper, salt, pepper, any spices that you want in it. Make your own vinegar-based barbecue sauce, douse it in there, fill it up about halfway, put the top on it, cook it on low, and then at the end of the night, it'll be falling, or whenever it's done, it'll be falling apart. You just take your tongs, whatever, you just chop it up really good, throw it on a bun, get you some coleslaw, just any old kind of coleslaw, whatever you like. Throw it on top of that barbecue, put the top on it, and you got your big old fat barbecue sandwich, and life is going to be good. You can 86 the vinegar-based barbecue sauce with beer and barbecue sauce mixture, like half a beer and half the jar of barbecue sauce, and mix it up. You can put red wine in it. You can do whatever the heck you want, but the barbecue is the pork. Barbecue is not the action of cooking on a grill.
That sounds delicious, dude.
So that's my rant about that. Hey, it's 11:02. We had a hard stop at 11.
Peace out, heavy hitters.
You have anything that you want to say? Just anything at all? I hate to cut you off, but we're going to try to make this a doable podcast, and we can't stay up till midnight every night.
No, we can't, dude.
We're putting in the work.
We can't do it. All I can say is I like big Boston butts, and I cannot lie. You other brothers can't deny. Peace out, heavy hitters. Thanks so much for listening. I know we're looking for that first listener, but I tell you what, to me, it's not about the number of necessarily of listens. Although it is, I'd like to say that we're providing some kind of an entertainment and escapism or value, to the heavy hitter nation. But at the end of the day, it's just about chopping it up with my boy from North Carolina. And like I said, we'd be doing it anyway. And yeah, we're just going to bring the truth, bring a little bit of value, I think that was good, dude. I like it. And thank you so much. We're still looking for our first listener. I tell you, the first one that didn't engage with us, but I can't talk tonight, engages with us.
They're gonna be famous.
They're gonna be taken care of, dude. They're
gonna go down in infamy.
Well, you said barbecue sauce. You said tongue scraper. We were, messing around with that. But dude, I'm gonna take care of them. I was thinking like, I don't know, dude. I'm thinking like how we can treat them like royalty. Like, can I get them like a $50 gift card to Von Hansen's, or can I get them like a Google Home Mini or whatever?
Yeah, something off of Amazon would probably be best, because Von Hansen's would do me zero good.
You don't have a Von Hansen's down there?
Never even heard the word. Never heard two words beside each other.
All right, got it.
Yeah.
Dude, heavy hitters, thanks so much for listening. Steve, wrap us up, dude.
All right. Available still. Yesterday I made an offer for a giveaway of 25 tongue scrapers. 0 were claimed today. That hurt my feelings. But anyway, guys, appreciate you guys listening tonight. You can find us on iTunes. You can find us on Anchor. You can find us on Pocket Cast. If there is another place that you listen to your podcast and have stumbled across us somewhere else that we are currently not, just let us know. We will try to figure out a way to get on your favorite spot. This is your boy Josh Johnson in Minnesota over there. Say later, Josh.
Later.
And my name is LoperCon, Steve Loper in North Carolina. That is it for episode 11. Thank you guys for hanging out, and we will talk at you soon.